Hi, my name is Foster Rogers, and this is the Christ of the Ozarks.
The Christ of the Ozarks is located in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and sits on Magnetic Mountain in the Ozark Mountains, giving the statue its name. The Christ of the Ozarks was the idea of Gerald L.K. Smith, and he hired Emmett Sullivan to construct the gigantic statue. The statue is made out of white mortar and stands at 67 feet tall. The face of the statue is 15 feet long, and the arms span 65 feet in length. It weighs approximately 2 million pounds and is held sturdy by a steel and concrete foundation. It was made to withstand winds of up to 500 miles per hour and even has a 2-foot rectangle at the top of the head for pressure equalization in case of a tornado that passes by. The Christ of the Ozarks can be seen from as far as 20 miles away on a clear day, and it is one of 5 giant statues of Christ in the world, with it being one of 2 in North America. The statue is considered somewhat controversial, as Gerald L.K. Smith was an anti-Semitic minister and political agitator in the 1930s. Smith named the land that encompasses the statue as the Sacred Projects, and the site was supposed to serve, according to Smith, as a place that would not flatter the Christ-hating Jews. Also, Emmett Sullivan was a somewhat odd choice to build a gigantic statue of Christ, as he claimed to help build Mount Rushmore. However, it is uncertain what his exact role was. Sullivan's most prominent work was Dinosaur Park in Rapid City, South Dakota, where he constructed a collection of large dinosaurs. Moreover, Sullivan claimed that his Christ of the Ozarks was more beautiful than Michelangelo's Jesus, but it has received much criticism as it has been called things such as milk carton Jesus due to its shape. The Christ of the Ozarks is a symmetrical statue with the body of Jesus being on a vertical plane and the arms of Jesus being on a horizontal plane. Furthermore, the statue is more stylized, with the features of Christ being primarily more geometric and non-organic. For example, the head and body of Christ are rectangular-like. As a result, the statue does not look like a realistic depiction of Christ. The statue also lacks the detail that a realistic depiction of Christ would have. The face is very basic, and the robe that Christ is wearing only has a few creases to show that he is wearing a robe. The outside of the statue is made of mortar, making the texture smooth and hard. Also, the hue of the mortar is white, making the statue have an overall light value. The arms of Christ are much smaller than they should be relative to the body. This makes the proportions inconsistent with the realistic depiction of Christ. The head is also inconsistent with the realistic size of a human head. Using the iconography method, one would immediately make many connections by examining the Christ of the Ozarks. First, the arms of Christ are outstretched straight to each side. This could be directly interpreted to the representation of the crucifixion of Christ on the cross. The arms appear as if they are nailed to the cross that Jesus was crucified on. This is described and referenced in many different books of the Bible. Another aspect of the Christ of the Ozarks is its daunting size. The statue of Christ is so tall and sits on top of Magnetic Mountain. It makes it almost appear as if Christ is ascending into heaven. This is referenced in many different religious texts along with the Bible multiple times. The texts describe Christ ascending to heaven after being resurrected from the dead and coming out of the tomb. Based on the way that the Christ of the Ozarks was built, it appears to have some characteristics from geometric Greece. For example, the body of Christ is made out of simple geometric forms and shapes. The head is rectangular, and the body is rectangular as well. Also, the hair of the Christ of the Ozarks has geometric characteristics. The repeated rectangular shapes in the hair create a geometric pattern. The Christ of the Ozarks also appears to have some characteristics of archaic Greece. For example, the body of Christ appears to be standing very stiff, like the archaic sculptures of ancient Greece. Furthermore, the face of the Christ is stylized like many sculptures in archaic Greece. Also, the line of symmetry that goes right down the middle of the body is similar to the sculptures that were seen in archaic Greece. Like the archaic sculptures in ancient Greece, the Christ of the Ozarks lacks realistic and naturalistic details. Although the Christ of the Ozarks contains characteristics from the geometric and archaic periods of Greece and appears to be influenced by those periods, it does not belong to those periods. This is because it was completed in 1966 in America. Thus, it could be said that it best fits in the American regionalism period. In this period, many artists focused their works on the American heartland. They made their work easily accessible to the public and wide ranges of audiences. Gerald L.K. Smith did this as he made the Christ of the Ozarks an attraction for people to come see. It could also be considered to be a part of the Christian identity movement, as Smith erected the statue with the vision of it agitating the Jewish community. I chose to research the Christ of the Ozarks because I visited it when I went to Eureka Springs with my dad on his business trips. Moreover, its gigantic size naturally intrigued me as a young kid. As a Christian, any gigantic statue of Christ in Arkansas makes me want to learn more about it as well. I like how the outstretched arms directly reference the crucifixion of Christ. In my opinion, though, the statue lacks warmth. It feels as if it lacks passion, and the eyes of the statue do not seem to have much life. I feel like a statue of Jesus should have much more detail and feel more welcoming. However, it is truly amazing to see such a large statue of Christ, especially in Arkansas.